Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Wednesday morning. We're halfway through the final week of the international break. Arsenal return to action in just 3 days' time. We'll be talking to Mikel Arteta tomorrow. That's his press conference. That is midday, I believe, barring any late changes from Arsenal. And it'll be interesting to get his thoughts ahead of what is a big weekend for them. Big game. Obviously, it sounds a bit rubbish calling Norwich at home a big game, but let's face it, the way Arsenal started the season, it is a massive game for Mikel Arteta as well. Massive few games coming up for him after this international break. Get it wrong and he is going to be in serious trouble, or at least he should be anyway, because Arsenal can't afford to go into the next international break still in a similar position to what they are now. They've got to pick up points and they've got to pick up quickly, and more importantly for me, they've got to start producing some sort of performances where we can actually see what they're trying to do, because let's face it, we haven't really seen that yet. They've been boosted by lots of players coming back over the international break. Players like I spoke about yesterday, Thomas Partey back in training, Gabriel now back, Ben White now back. Obviously, Tomiyasu has come in. He's still away at the moment on international duty. He played last night for Japan, did very well by all accounts. He'll be coming back into the fold once he returns from there. So the squad looking much stronger now, and Mikel Arteta needs to make sure that his teams start getting results very quickly when the Premier League begins again this weekend. Anyway, a little bit of a roundup from what's gone on in the last sort of 24 hours or so. Not too much Arsenal-wise. Emile Smith Rowe, there was a little bit of a worry about him. He's obviously been away with the England U21s for the last couple of weeks. There have been COVID issues with the U21s. 2 players had to pull out. We weren't told who they were. And there was a little bit of a worry last night that there was Emile Smith Rowe, because when the England U21 team was announced to play at Kosovo last night at Milton Keynes, he wasn't in the team and he wasn't even on the substitutes bench. So immediately you start to worry. But according to manager Lee Carsley, it's not anything to do with COVID. He is just feeling unwell. That's what he told Sky Sports afterwards. Just said it's not COVID related. He was just feeling unwell, so he decided to send him back to Arsenal. So fingers crossed it's not anything bad for Emile. And he maybe still will be in contention for this weekend. If he's not, then that certainly opens up a few possibilities really for Arteta and what he's going to do. Personally, for me, I don't want to see Aubameyang play left wing again and Lacazette up front. I'd much rather see all the players as a central striker. And if there's no Smith Rowe, you can easily just play Saka, Odegaard, Pepe behind Aubameyang. Kind of just done with the whole Aubameyang left side. If we want to get the best out of Auba now, you've got to start playing him central striker for me. And we want to get the best out of Auba this season, because if he doesn't score goals, Arsenal don't tend to win many football matches. So we need to get Auba firing. And hopefully that will be in the central striker's role. So, a bit worrying on Smith Rowe, but certainly not as bad as I think a couple of minutes on social media last night when the team was announced and it was spotted that he wasn't in it. I think everyone was in a bit of a panic, but it soon did emerge that it's not COVID related. So that is a little bit of a boost. Elsewhere on international duty, a few Arsenal players in action last night. Martin Odegaard, Tomiyasu, as I said. Odegaard very good, as Norway beat Gibraltar 5-1, I think it was. Erling Haaland again, what a monster that player is, scoring a hat-trick. But Odegaard certainly pulling the strings for Norway. Amazingly, he didn't get a goal or an assist. So you look in those two sort of key stats columns, and he's got 0-0. But he played very well. 12 key passes I think he made. And was just the man pulling all the strings for Norway in that game. Yes, it was only against Gibraltar, so I don't think we can get too carried away about that. But still positive to see him playing well. Now hopefully he can come back and he can put that sort of performance in on Saturday against Norwich. Tomiyasu, now I didn't see any of this game, but I know a fair few people did watch it. They were interested in how he got on. And by all accounts, he played very well. Japan beat China 1-0. Tomiyasu was very good. Everyone really impressed at how good he was with both feet. Strong in the air as well, won loads of headers. And I think a lot of people watching that game realised why Arsenal decided to make their move for him. Now he'll come back. Hasn't even been to London Colney yet. I spoke about it in yesterday's video. I'd be surprised if he gets straight into the team on Saturday against Norwich, given he's not met his teammates. He's not even been to the training ground. He's just been away playing for Japan. So he's on the other side of the world. He's going to come back. Imagine it'll be his first day at Colney tomorrow, meeting everyone, getting adjusted to the surroundings, meeting Mikel Arteta, meeting the coaching staff, his teammates. I just think it'd be a big surprise if he goes straight into the starting lineup against Norwich on Saturday. I'd expect Tomiyasu to be on the bench, but you never know. So he had a good performance last night. Martin Odegaard had a good performance, and I think we've got Saka in action for England tonight, and Bernd Leno as well for Germany, although Bernd Leno not expected to start. I think he started at last game, but I don't think he's expected to start tonight. Hopefully Saka gets some minutes, considering he played the full game against Andorra. I don't think he will start tonight for England. I think Southgate will probably go with this team that we saw start against Hungary or similar to that. So Saka will probably be on the bench and might come off it in the second half. Hopefully he has another good performance. So that's kind of where we are in terms of the international break. Emile Smith Rowe with the under-21s and the full internationals. And now hopefully after tonight's game, fingers crossed, Saka and Leno come back unscathed, and then we can all start focusing ahead to Saturday. Just before I go on this one, I just want to talk a little bit about Charlie Patino. Such an exciting young talent. Arsenal under-21s in action for the first time last night in the EFL Trophy. Lost 2-1 to Swindon Town. Now, if you don't know about the EFL Trophy, this is where some of the big clubs under-21s team are in it, and they play against the senior sides from the lower leagues. And Arsenal in action at Swindon Town last night. Lost 2-1. But Charlie Patino, absolutely exceptional by all accounts in the centre midfield. Such an exciting talent. I urge you, I retweeted it this morning. If you haven't seen it yet, someone put a compilation of his performance up last night, and you watch it, and look, I don't want to get carried away or anything like that. You don't, he's still only a 17-year-old kid, but you watch it, and it's impossible when you watch it not to think of Jack Wilshere at that age, Cesc at that age. You just see how comfortable he is with the ball. You see his vision, his awareness of what's around him, the touch to move and give himself some space to start driving forward. He's got it all, and that's why he's so highly rated at Arsenal. I did a big piece on him for Goal a couple of months ago. Search for it, just put Charlie Patino, goal.com, and it will come up on Google and you'll find it. And I was talking to the scout who first discovered him. He was signed from Luton Town as a 11 or 12-year-old, and the Arsenal scout discovered him, said he's the best player he's ever seen at that age, and someone else at the academy said he's the best kid ever coming through at Hale End. I mean, these are big words, and it places maybe a little bit of pressure on Patino, but by all accounts, he's a very level-headed young man. He's been playing a lot with the first team, a lot with the first team. He got 60 minutes for the first team in the behind closed doors friendly against Brentford. I mean, he is knocking on the door. As I've said in previous videos, the pathway that's been laid out for Patino does not involve a loan. They're kind of looking at this as a straight sort of Saka model, Wilshere model of, progress straight into the first team from a young age and start helping. And you look at him now, and he's already at that stage where you start thinking, 23s football going to do him that much good? I mean, I do expect he's going to play this season in the 23s. He's only just come out. That's how young he is. He's only just been promoted to the 23s. But you kind of look at it and think, is he ready to start getting some senior action? I'd love to see him involved against Wimbledon in the cup match, which is coming up at a couple of weeks in the Emirates, to see how he gets on there. I don't think he'll look out of place whatsoever. We saw it last night against senior opposition. He doesn't look out of place. So he's a quality young talent, Charlie Patino, and there's so much exciting youngsters coming through at Hale End, coming through from Hale End, which is now in the 23s. That 23 setup is going to be intriguing to watch this season. Kevin Betsy has come in to oversee it all, the new head coach, and you got Patino, Amari Hutchinson, Kaido Taylor-Hart, Brooke Norton-Cuffy. You've got so many of these young kids who've all grown up together. Jack Henry-Francis, who got some action during the under-21s, during the pre-season tour with Arteta. Zayn Monlouis, the young defender. So many of these young, talented young kids, but they're really young, and you think they're only in the 23s now, but they're all sort of 17, 18, and they're just making that step through. And Kevin Betsy's got a real responsibility on his hands, I think, over the next sort of year or so to help these guys develop and get pushing through towards the first team. Some of them will undoubtedly go on loan, but in Patino's case, as I said, the idea for him is no loan, just straight towards that first team. And the way he's playing at the moment, I don't think he's going to be that far away. We might even see him against Wimbledon in a couple of weeks, certainly on the bench. Time will tell if that is the case. Right, before I go, last thing, a bit on Mohamed Elneny, getting lots of questions on him. There have been suggestions that he might be going off to Galatasaray before the Turkish transfer window closes, which is today. I'm certainly not ruling it out, but as far as we're no official offer has been made to Arsenal for Mohamed Elneny, and so as it stands, that he isn't going anywhere. that might change in the coming hours. Galatasaray might put in a bid that Arsenal think it is worthwhile, but as far as I'm aware right now, that hasn't arrived by any means. And whether they're interested or not, they haven't firmed up that interest with a firm offer. For me, I think it's got to be a decent offer to really tempt Arsenal now, just because you can't really get in a replacement. I mean, perhaps you promote Patino straight away and start playing him, but you want to kind of ease him into first team action, and Arsenal aren't exactly blessed with central midfielders at the moment, so the fact that you can't replace him, it makes it quite hard. I think it will have to be a tempting bid to get rid of Elneny right now. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. All right, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Like I said, Mikel Arteta press conference coming tomorrow at midday, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Till then, have a very good day. Enjoy the sunshine. I'll speak to you soon.